Okay, my research will be based on the factors affecting employee satisfaction and employee retention in hotel industry in Chiang Mai, Thailand. Thank you. The beginning, the why am I conducting this research? What are the factors affecting employee satisfaction and employee retention in hotel industry in Chiang Mai? The reason why I'm conducting this research is I want to explore the drivers of employee satisfaction in Chiang Mai hotel industry. Brief introduction. Chiang Mai is a tourism capital in Thailand. Every year in Thailand, tourism is big and it brings a lot of money and economic benefits to the country. According to the National Status Office of Thailand in 2020, the number of hotels in Thailand increased from 1,698 to 6,908 hotels. Also, according to the data research, the service industry accounts for the largest proportion of Thailand GDP. This is a very big number. Hotel industry is an important provider for job opportunities. It brings a lot of socio and economic benefits to all the employees and Thai people in Chiang Mai and considering also in Thailand. Significance of the study. This research will bring significant values and benefits for the hotel industry in Chiang Mai. Objectives of the study. This research objective is to explore the hotel employee satisfactions in Chiang Mai, Thailand. We will be exploring what are the factors that brings employee satisfaction in the hotel industry. To find out that, we will do further research and the further presentation will show it. Also to analyze the relationship between hotel employee satisfaction and hotel employees retention in Chiang Mai. I didn't write the hypothesis, but a hypothesis is also the hypothesis of this study will focus on that there is a positive correlation between employee satisfaction and hotel employees retention in Chiang Mai. Some of the terminology or the keywords that we will be using in this study is employee satisfaction. As you can see from the definition, the employee satisfaction in this research will only apply to the employees who work in Chiang Mai hotel area. The employee satisfaction factors will consist four, which will be work attitude, leadership, teamwork, and work environment, which will lead to employee satisfaction or lead to employee dissatisfaction, which we will further discuss. Work attitude. We will be using a lot of these words in this research. This research also defines the work attitude for employee satisfaction factor, which will relate with management style. If they are happy with management style, their work attitude, it could be positive or negative. Their job role, their attitude towards their job role, how about their work ethic? Are they happy working in the hotel? Also, these will all kind of lead to good customer services, which kind of means happy. If you have a good work attitude, the employees tend to have more good customer service. Leadership. Leadership is very important in these studies. As you can see from the PowerPoint I have discussed, the research here defines the leadership style where employees feel they have good relationship with their managers. We will discuss more on the leadership styles, the communication with their leaders, and also if they feel they have support for the employees by their leaders and supervisors and managers. There's also the leadership will also involve openly setting of goals. Do employees feel they are being involved in terms of setting goals and plans for company? Also, if they can openly talk about their needs to their leaders. Another factor is teamwork. This teamwork framework words here focuses on team building activities. Team building activities is very important for interpersonal skills. It is good for the employees because it helps them have a better relationship with their team. Also, good team working skills and relationship with team. If you have a better connection and a good connection with the team members, it does affect employee satisfaction in any hotel organization or any organization. Work environment. In this research focuses on the human and organizational environment, such as if employees feel empowered to go to their employees or in other departments for help, the right to decide how they work, the hotel's policy. In hotel industry, it is a very tasking job. So the hotel policy, the employee satisfaction is affected if they have a better, safe, and working condition and working environment. It tends to have better hotel employee satisfaction. Also, the working hours and overtime, if they have a better working hours and overtime, training skills, the kind of training skills provided to the employees, and the flow of information. Employee retention. This is an dependent variable, which depends on employee satisfaction factors. Employee retention on this research are 4 factors, which are productivity, loyalty, communication, and rewards. This will discuss if employees work in hotel, if they want to work in hotel, and what determines for them to stay in their job. The keyword productivity will be the employee's feeling of satisfaction with their work. Are they happy to deal with the customers? So if there's a better productivity, meaning they have better positive outlook to work, they have good abilities at work, they will achieve goals, how productive they are, how efficient with the work in hotel. If they also feel empowered to work. Feeling empowerment to work also affect productivity, and also it affects good performance. Loyalty. This is very important because it is really important for employees to have loyalty towards their work, as it kind of a lot of the research and studies shows loyal employees are more committed to work and also tend to stay in the hotel and not look for other jobs. This will focus on their loyalty in hotel. If they have a sense of belonging, a lot of employees who have sense of belonging in their organization or hotel industry tend to be more loyal. They also, if they recommend others to work, especially their family and friends, if they feel proud with their work, and that could lead to the loyalty will lead to continue working in the same organization. Communication style. Employees' retention factor in terms of communication is related to how they feel about the communication style. Is there open communication and transparency where employees feel they can have access to information easily when they need it or not? If they can express with their managers and team members, are the communication encouraged within the management? Rewards. Employees' retention factor in terms of rewards means rewards received on basis of how well they do in their job. Is it individual or is it all? Is it between all the staff and employees involved? Salary and level of pay in terms of reward. Performance evaluation style. A lot of employees have different kind of reward systems. Some are happier with salary and level pay, but some are more into recognition and appraisal from management. Some are mostly looking towards opportunities. So these are all keywords we will be looking in rewards and employee retention. Contribution of the study. Chiang Mai Hotel employees and leadership. Chiang Mai Hotel employees, this study will help the hotel employees and the hotel industry strengthen a relationship between, because hotel employees are the backbone of the hotel, which is a service sector, and they always need people. They need a front team or like employees who are on hand with the customers in the hotel. It's very important. And leadership. This study will help hotel industry, the managers, the leaders working in the hotel, and also the employees discuss on the kind of leadership style that is needed to make the hotel successful. It could be anything. So it will focus on bringing those tools and also strengthening the relationship and how leaders in the hotel can treat their employees. Limitation of the study. There are very less studies based on impact of employee satisfaction in hotel industry in Chiang Mai. This is some of the literature review that I will use in my studies. According to Locke, he said that employee satisfaction is not only just individual needs, but it is related to individuals' wants, desires, and needs. And his studies has been used by many famous authors, and also his literature review will be used by many authors which they have a similar understanding, such as Chang, where he provided a general definition of job satisfaction, where he defines it as the feeling of attitude of employees toward their work environment. The factors included in job satisfaction include work attributes, which we discussed previously in the keywords are work pay, supervisors, partners, promotions, and overall satisfaction by she. According to Lee, the factors of employee satisfaction include pay welfare and the working environment. So you can clearly see from this literature review that they're very correlated. And a lot of the authors and research students, they all kind of agree that welfare, working environments are very important for employee satisfaction. Tsai suggested that the factors of employee satisfaction refer to internal service quality. Internal service quality meaning if the employees, in order for the company to succeed or hotel industry to succeed, it is very important for organization to treat their employees better. So if they have their service quality, if you are treating your employees better and have a better quality, then obviously there will be a better employee satisfaction. Also, Chan 25, he also indicated that the factors of employee satisfaction include internal. It could also, gender also affects the gender affects the employee satisfaction, the educational background, seniority, and compensation. There was a very famous case study done by Anish at D&R Cambridge Communication, and they concluded that the leadership behavior where the managers and the leaders supported their team, and they also were the teams were allowed had freedom and were allowed to work in the way that was beneficial, and it provided a very good performance management. Teamwork and team building is very crucial for organization. Another research conducted by Barwin and his other authors and researchers concluded that there is a high degree of connection between employee satisfaction, employee commitment, retention, and even loyalty within the service sector, and this relationship has been supported. Organizations who care more about their employee satisfaction have a greater possibility of having higher levels of employee retention. This all literature kind of correlates that happier employees tend to stay in the organization more. And but also there has been a lot of other challenging reviews by Saran and Nigrante, who said that employee rewards lead to employee retention, but however, they don't result in job satisfaction, meaning just because somebody is paid a lot of money doesn't mean that they will be satisfied with job. Some people stay in their job for money, for pay, whereas some people stay in the job for recognition. So these are something that we can possibly discuss in other research. This is my conceptual framework. The independent variables on the left is demography information of employees, their gender, their age, education background, working department, and their working period. Since hotel industry is a very labor tasking job and there's a lot of overtime involved. So working period, the working department, depending on which department you work, also affects employee satisfaction. Employee satisfaction is an independent variable here, which have work attitude. A positive work attitude will definitely have employers satisfaction. There's leadership, teamwork, and work environment, which will correlate to employee retention. And on the dependent variables under employee retention, we have 4 factors. These are productivity, loyalty, communication, and rewards. Research methodology with the population and sample size. According to the Ministry of Labor in 2022, there are actually 1,612 registered service sector employees during the first quarter of 2021. The number is definitely up, but we are only going to focus on the employees who are registered, as there are a lot of also unregistered service sector employees because the hotel industry in Chiang Mai is unregulated. The sample size, the total sample size is 1612. And we will be, and to find to calculate the formula, we use this formula. And we are using standard error of 10% and marginal error of 90%, which gives me the sample size of 66. The research location will be based in Chiang Mai, Thailand. So we will be only focusing on the hotel in Chiang Mai, Thailand. Survey method will be the questionnaires. It will be constructed questionnaires, which will comprise of 3 parts: the employees demographic, the another part two questionnaires will focus on employee satisfaction, and the part 3 will be employee retention. Data collection and data analysis. Survey rollout will be done by a researcher, and data collection and entry and analysis will be done within October. I will be using the tools and instruments of SPSS to collect my data and also to interpret my data. Thank you. Questions and comments? Questionnaires? Oh, I didn't add my questionnaires in the presentation.
Do you have a file for?
I have a file. Do you want my questionnaires? Okay. Okay.
เดี๋ยวรอสักครู่นะครับผมให้นักศึกษานำเสนอเครื่องมือ
Can I use my PowerPoint, sorry, my PDF?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, no, that's the bottom one. Bottom one. Yes. Okay. This is my questionnaires. Part 1 is the demographic information of employees, which affects employee satisfaction based on gender. So we will be focusing on that. We will also try and find if the gender or age or the demographic information influences employee satisfaction and employee retention. First part, we will be talking about the gender. The age also affects employee satisfaction and employee retention. Highest level of education you've completed, we will collect data like if employees have higher level of education or the kind of level of education which could be beneficial for us. The department, what the department they work. In the hotel, the most crucial departments are, there are 5 departments. Front office department who takes care of the guests, housekeeping department are responsible for cleaning the house, cleaning the hotel rooms. Food and beverage department also very important because they work in food and beverage sector. Human resources department and others could be part-time or could be commissioned to work part-time by the department itself. We will also be discussing, asking the employee about their management level in this hotel, which could be, there are two levels, junior level, trainee, and senior. And another level, higher level, will be managers, supervisors, and team leaders. We will also be asking about them, of how they work in its establishment, which could be less than a year. There are 5, 1 to 3 years, 3 to 5 years. If anybody has worked there more than 8 years, they tend to be the loyal one. But we will also focus on that. If just because they work longer, does that mean are they loyal? Are they happy? Are they satisfied or not? In hotel industry, we use a lot of other terms like morning shift, afternoon shift, and night shift. And there's another called swing shift where the employees work both shift. And other is they work all different types of shifts. So there is no, they don't go in the same box. This will be the demographic information of our employees. The part 2 will be employee satisfaction. We will be using Likert scale from 1 to 5. The 1 we strongly agree are very satisfied, and then 2, and it will go, the number will correlate to the keywords here. 5 being they strongly disagree are very dissatisfied. So in terms of employee satisfaction, there are 4 factors. So employee satisfaction in terms of work attitude, we have 7 statements. You have to I'm satisfied with the work attitude. It depends. This statement is, I'm satisfied with management style in my department. This also correlates. If they are very satisfied, then that means they have a better work attitude. If they don't agree with this statement, they definitely do not have a. But even within the work attitude, there are various components of it. The second one is, I feel I have a positive attitude to my job role in this hotel. This can definitely help us find a better answer to if they have, in terms of if they have a positive attitude towards work, then definitely it will correlate to having a better employee satisfaction. A good work ethic is also a reflection of a good work attitude. If you are driven and empowered and motivated to work in the hotel, it's also a good work attitude. Happy working in this hotel. Their job responsibilities in the company, how their attitudes toward their job roles. And if they have a good customer service orientation, a good work attitude definitely correlates to having a good customer service orientation. Another one under employee satisfaction in terms of leader. If they have a good relationship with their managers, I have a good relationship with my managers. Having a good relationship with managers definitely helps the employees have a better satisfaction, but we will find out in the research. Whether in the number 9 statement says, I trust my managers, team, leaders, and supervisor. Trust is very important in terms of leadership and in terms of teamwork. The way managers, seniors talk with employees when they set goals for their departments, do they feel involved? Are managers and seniors involving their employees in setting goals, or is it only on the upper management? Statement 11, the way managers consider employees' needs when planning work schedules. This is also very important because they want to consider if managers are considering employees' needs, if the employees get sick, if employees have other responsibilities, and sometimes they cannot come to work during their normal routines, are managers flexible with how managers and employees work together to solve problems from customer service? In hotel industry, we get problems with customers since we are dealing with people. It's a very common phenomena where you have to solve problems depending on situation and depending on people and customer. So if managers and employees, they work together, they tend to, it's better good problem solving skills. Another statement is how managers tell employees how their job should be done. If they have autonomy, if they are given proper guidance. Employee satisfaction. Okay, the last statement for the employee leaders are my managers, team leaders, supervisors supports me in this hotel. Supporting, feeling like you're supported and you're cherished in hotel industry is very important. And this will also help us find out the results for employee satisfaction. Employee satisfaction in terms of teamwork, not leaders. Teamwork could be your colleagues. The team building activities help in making stronger team in the hotels. This is very important. So we will find a result for this. I feel like I'm a team player in this hotel. Do employees feel like they're a team player in this hotel? Team player is very key because if you are a team player, you tend to take care of the hotel like your own. I feel connected with my colleagues in this hotel? It is very important for the employees to feel the connection with other colleagues so that they can work hand in hand. Interactions and relationship with their coworkers. It is very important to have a relationship with your coworkers, even if it's just a coworker relationship, because it does help you feel like you've got your back in any organization. Do you have a good team working skills? Can the employees take on team project, or the employees only good with just working by themselves? Definitely, another statement under the team worker is I have a good relationship with my team managers and team members. Employee satisfaction in terms of work environment. It is very preferable and good if the working environment is safe. So we will talk about this in statements here. Employees are empowered to go to employees in their departments where their problem needs to be solved. How employees have the right to decide how they do their own work. So this kind of work environment is where they have their own autonomy. I feel like I can make my own decision, which brings benefit to this hotel. Employees can make their own decisions. Also, the work environment is also hotel policies on important matters related to employees. Do employees feel like their values match with the hotel policy? Does the hotel policies take care of employees' health, their other benefits? About my shift system, working hours and overtime and working system in the hotel. If their working hours are healthy for their health, because in hotels, they have a different kind of working hours. Sometimes night shift and day shift can be detrimental to their health. So is the organization or the team leaders making a shift system that actually makes them help them be very productive? Training skills provided to you for your job. It is very important for any new employees to provide a training skills, because hotel has a different kind of style to work, different kind of software systems. And when you're dealing with a lot of guests, it is very important that they have a proper training skills provided to the employees so they can handle and solve problems. Another is the flow of information from management to employee. This kind of working environment where the flow of information is top down or down to top approach. Part 3, employee retention is also uses 5-point Likert scales. Employees retention in terms of productivity. I feel productive working in this hotel. This statement can relate to if they don't feel productive working in this hotel, there is a chances that they will not stay in the employee. The employee retention will be low. The employee will probably leave. I feel satisfied working here in this hotel in general. Obviously, overall satisfaction meaning there will be satisfied employees, meaning more productivity. I'm very happy with the authority to decide how to deal with customers and solve problems. Previously, we discussed about autonomy. If an employees have more authority to decide, it does reflect in having more productivity because they solve problems quickly and also are more efficient. About making good use of my strength and abilities at work. And does the employers or the hotel industry encourages them to use their strengths and abilities at work? If they can use their strengths and abilities at work and celebrate them being own creativity, then it will be more productive. I always achieve my goals by the end of my shift. If an employee is more productive, that means Yes, the way hotel inspires me to do the very job in terms of my job performance. Inspires me to okay. If this meaning, this statement correlates to the term where if the hotel inspires them to do a better job, then they will definitely be more productive. So job performance relates to productivity. I always achieve my goals by the end of my shift. Productive employees always achieve their goals. So if they are achieving their goals by the end of their shift, that means the productivity goes up. I'm also very efficient with my work in this hotel. The efficiency also relates to the productivity in the hotel. I feel empowered to work in this hotel. And previous studies, it is also mentioned that empowered employees are more satisfied and more productive in their work. I have a good performance in this hotel. This is a very simple statement, which means if they feel they have a good performance, then definitely the employees will have more productivity in the hotel. Employees retention in terms of loyalty. This is also very important. I am committed to working in this hotel. This explains a loyal employees will tend to stay in the job. So if the employee says they are more committed to working in this hotel, definitely the loyalty is very high and the employee retention will also be there. If they're not really committed to working in this hotel, the loyalty goes down. I have a very loyalty commitment. Loyalty it is the same, similar to the same statement, but we will kind of like explore more. I have a high loyalty commitment in this hotel. Sense of belonging in this hotel is also very important in terms of being loyal to employers or the hotel industry, and also very important for employee retention. It's a higher sense of belonging, meaning higher loyalty, and employees will stay in the hotel. There is a high chance to recommend others to work in my hotel. A loyal employee will have a high chance to recommend others, including their family and their family members and friends to work in the same hotel. The opportunity to be proud to work in this hotel. A lot of the employees are always looking for opportunity. It's not only the salary and pay. They feel if they have more opportunity in the hotel, they tend to be more loyal. I'm very likely to continue working here for another. This statement will help us if the answer is if they want to work in the hotel for another year or more. That means obviously employee satisfaction. Mostly it will lead to employee retention. Employees retention in terms of communication. I feel communication is very open and transparent in this hotel. It is very important. Open communication does lead to a very empowered employees and also to employee retention. I feel like I can express myself with my managers and communicate with my managers and team members easily. This is very important because a lot of the team members feel heard and listened to, which will also lead to loyal employees, and it's good. Good communication is good for good employee retention. Open communication is very much encouraged in this hotel. Like we said, open communication, open communication leads to empowered employees and employee retention. I feel I have access to information easily. This actually makes them a very empowered employees, and also employees feels they have more responsibility, and this will lead to employee retention. But we will figure it out during our research. How employees can get any information they need from managers in order to do their job better. If they can access the information easily to do their work better, if there are a problem, and it will help in their problem solving skills. And the final factors, employees retention in terms of rewards. The way employees receive rewards based on how well each person does his or her job. This is very important in terms of employee retention. Your salary level of pay. Happier, if they are more happier and salary of level of pay, they will be more satisfied. This can actually correlate and have a positive effect on employee retention. Your performance evaluation style. How they feel their performance has been evaluated. Are they getting open constructive feedback and criticism from their team leaders and their team to do better? The opportunities at your hotel to go up if they want to get more promotions. And the last statement is how I get a recognition and appraisal from management for doing any work. Some of the employees are looking for more recognition and appraisal from their management, also from their teamwork, rather than the pays and salary. So we will also focus on this one.
Okay, so much information. But I will talk only the main point. Otherwise, it's going to be all over the place. First question, how do you develop your questionnaire? All those questions, do you replicate, which means that do you take the questions from existing studies or not?
Yes, I use some of the samples, and Ajahn also helped me with making the information so we can, if we do a SBS in terms to test the hypothesis, employees satisfaction and retention, and we can calculate it. So that's why we have different samples.
I understand how you will run the statistical analysis to evaluate. Now the thing is, when you develop the questions in your questionnaire, for example, about satisfaction of employees towards the leadership, you can bring up your question if you want. You can share the PDF file of your questionnaire again.
The leadership.
เดี๋ยวพัดแชร์ก็ได้ค่ะ I can share my I can share เดี๋ยวพัดแชร์ก็ได้แป๊บนึงนะคะ
No, it's like, so I kind of looked at the questionnaires, and a lot of them had employee satisfaction. So it's kind of like, but the style is the same. But this one, me and Kat and Tian kind of like, okay, I made her another questionnaire. She said like, I couldn't calculate it, so they were all together. It was very mixed up. So she told me to make a factors for every employee satisfaction. So I can just find out employee satisfaction in terms of work attitude or in terms of leader.
Do you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go back to your conceptual model. Okay. This one. Don't worry about my handwriting for now. I do understand that your main focus of the study is about satisfaction towards retention.
Yes.
Although in the beginning, when you start your how to say your outline, your proposal, you mentioned about how employee satisfaction would influence customer satisfaction towards the service, right?
Yeah.
But then moving on is nothing to do with that. You focus on how satisfaction of the employees would lead them to stay with the organization, if I am correct. So my first suggestion would be you can talk a bit about how employee satisfaction is very important for a service organization. But the main focus should be about how you can then talk about, okay, but then look, in the hotel industry, it suffers with, employees job shopping, because that is the nature of the employee, the hotel industry anyway. Employees tend to shop around for a better position in another hotels, and that costs a lot of money to the organization, so therefore they seek to retain their employees. Now you can then talk about how employee satisfaction is very important to retain the employees. I think the beginning about employee satisfaction towards customers satisfaction, you play like you talk about it so much that at the beginning I thought, okay, your focus would be about how employee satisfaction influence customer satisfaction, but that's not the case. So therefore, you just briefly lay the context that, you know, employee satisfaction is very important in many ways, but then the hotel is suffering with employees leaving the job very quickly. So therefore, we seek to do something about it. And you found that employee satisfaction is one of the factors that could help retain the employees. I think that that would help you lead the audience very quickly to the focus of your study. So that's my suggestion in terms of positioning your introduction to make sure that it is about your study. And then now my problem, which is not big, but I think because I could see the potential of your study and I like the idea, but I want it to be more focused. When you say about satisfaction and you start talking about leadership, you start talking about teamwork, work environment, I'm okay with it, but it's just a matter of writing it. Sometimes when you write about leadership, for example, if you remember yourself writing, you say like the leadership is very important, right? In terms of influencing, the keyword is here. You said leadership is very important to influence employee satisfaction. So therefore, when you talk about leadership here under employee satisfaction, before I saw your questionnaire, I was hoping to see like leadership, type of leadership, because something that you said in the literature as well, saying that the type of leadership influence employee satisfaction. And do you see what is wrong here? When you do the questionnaire, you measure about leadership, yes, and you assume that this is about their satisfaction with the leadership. Where is it? Okay. Here we go. I have a good relationship with my managers. I trust my managers. The way managers talk with employees when they set goals for their department. Not sure what do you mean by that. Probably you are satisfied with the way managers consider. That's why I ask you, and this is not the only case, also about teamwork. Well, the team building activities help in making stronger teams in this hotel. I feel like I am a team player in this hotel. I feel connected with my colleagues. This is not about satisfaction. When you say leadership influences satisfaction, so therefore there are two factors here, which is leadership and satisfaction. But you combine leadership under satisfaction. So that's why your questionnaire needs to be clear. This questionnaire, I have a good relationship with my managers. I trust my managers. It's not about satisfaction. It's about trust. It's about relationship between a subordinate and the leader. It's not about satisfaction. It's totally a different question, asking about different construct. So there is a case of validity here because the items that you measure are not the same with the construct that you should be measuring. Do you see the point I'm trying to get at?
I think there's a little, it's just, it is not correlating and it's like even when you talk about the leadership, like, the type of the leadership is not being talked about in the statement. And it's a little confusing because, we're not talking about, we're more talking about connection and trust.
Yeah, so that's why I'm concerned. Because if you say your factor is satisfaction with leadership, so you need to
Okay.
measure whether they are satisfied. There is a scale measurement for satisfaction on its own, because normally we would measure leadership separately, we would measure satisfaction separately, and then we run the analysis to see whether the leadership influences satisfaction or not. Now, because you want to combine satisfaction, but then you try to separate satisfaction on different components. So what you can do is you can adapt the satisfaction scale measurement to those components. So basically, normally the satisfaction scale would be I am satisfied with this. I can say that my satisfaction is something. So that is, when you measure something, it's purely about that thing. Satisfaction, so satisfaction. But since you want to combine satisfaction with leadership and teamwork, you need to hang on a minute. Okay, when you say, so as I told you, for example, customer satisfaction, then I am happy, I am satisfied with the service, and that's it. So if you want to do satisfaction with leadership, you need to adapt that satisfaction scale with leadership, then with teamwork, then with work attitude or work environment. But you would run into the problem in terms of there's nothing much. It just is you cannot identify the type of leadership, because you can just only measure whether they are happy with the current leadership, and you cannot identify it. You cannot identify whether they have a good relationship or not. Although probably you can adapt the word, like I am satisfied with the relationship I have with my leaders. I am satisfied with the teamwork that I have, or something like that. You can a bit, but you can have a look at satisfaction scale measurement a little bit more. Otherwise, all the items that you have, as I told you, is not about satisfaction. Satisfaction means you are satisfied. The expectation meets what the current state. But you just like, okay, I have a good relationship with my leadership. From that statement, although I agree with it 100%, it doesn't show my satisfaction, because I know that if I'm happy with my relationship with the leader, I will be satisfied. But that's behind the scene. That's not in your measurement scale. Because the question you ask is whether I have a good relationship with my leader. And you don't have an opportunity to run the test whether that happiness with my relationship would influence my satisfaction with my leader or not. It just, okay, relationship is relationship, satisfaction is satisfaction. If you want to say there is a relationship, you need to test. So do you see the problem that I have with your questions? Because it's early stage, so I want to make it clear.
Yeah, can you, I would say, like, if we, instead of like I should talk relationship, I should just say I'm satisfied with my leader, my team leaders. Would that make a little bit more clear sense
Yeah.
than talking about like relationship with them? Okay.
Yeah.
I also so would the leadership still be, do I have to be very specific about the leadership style?
There's one thing in your literature as well, in your proposal, you say something that there's something, I can't remember exactly the wording that you use, but you tend to say that there is a specific atmosphere in the hotel in Chiang Mai.
It's
how
like so some of the like hotels that I am going to research, there's one that I learned. They don't have managers at all. The employees have more responsibility, whereas in the Shangri-La and the Le Meridian, it's a very like a top to bottom approach. But they're very successful, and I'm just going to collect all the data. But I just didn't know how to, and I think in my introduction I mentioned the research will focus on a traditional management style hotel and a very free, like a literally just team leadership style hotel. But maybe I should just.
Have you explored the leadership theory at all? The
I
tradition.
did in the.
Yeah, there is no word traditional, but it's like transformational, transactional.
Autocratic.
Yeah, charm. I think it's kind of charming or on an authoritative leadership or something like that. So it's not traditional. I don't mind you using the word traditional, but you need to be able to find the evidence, something to support that you are claiming. Now you say there are different types of, well, at least there are two. Traditional one, which is top down, which is they are not really top down. Shangri-La is not top down, but they have management. But there is another type of hotel that you find, which is there is no management. It's just teamwork. Now, but you will measure leadership.
Okay.
And how can you measure the leadership in the sampling that doesn't have leadership? You see the point? So therefore, obviously, everything will be skewed because they cannot answer that they are happy with the leadership because there is no leadership if that's the case. And if you want to compare, then you can compare, but that is another statistic, like ANOVA or t-test or MANOVA, depending on how you are comfortable with. So you can compare between the hotel that has leadership and the hotel that doesn't have leadership. But that's something that you need to be clear. I think you need to find a focus, and you don't need to claim for all hotel industry in Chiang Mai. It can be the 5-star hotels, a case study for the 5-star hotels, or the 4 to 5-star hotels, because they will definitely have leadership. If that's the case, naka, I'm not sure. You need to check. But if 3 stars also have management, you can still have leadership. And I think every hotel will have leaders. At least they have the owner. The owner will be the leader. But whether they are happy or not, it's another thing. Okay, but the key point is how you measure it. If you measure satisfaction with something, you need to make sure that the questions asking about satisfaction with that thing should be about satisfaction with that thing, not about other things that you don't measure. Be careful, naka. You cannot claim by the current questions that you have, that it's about satisfaction. We know from the literature that when they have those things, they will be satisfied. But we have to run the test. And I was wondering, why don't you just measure them separatelyล่ะ ก็คือ measure leadership, measure teamwork, measure work environment, and then run them against employee satisfaction, and then employee satisfaction on those things that you mentioned in terms of rewards, loyalty or something. I don't see why you can't. ใช่ไหม คือ if youคือ you measure satisfaction in general, you measure employee satisfaction,ปุ๊บ, and that is in the middle. In the front, what leads to their satisfaction or their relationship or their leadership ก็ได้ their teamwork, their อะไรอีก work environment เนี่ยก็ there are scales for those things, and it will fit with your literature ค่ะ so you claim that okay, teamwork is very important for employee satisfaction ใช่ไหม you go measure teamwork from your sample. How do they think about their teamwork, and then based on what they think, how does it run statistically against their reported satisfaction from your questionnaire. เห็นปะ done. Part 1 for your objective done. Now another thing you want to say, okay, if they are happy with all those things, how would it influence their intention to stay? อันนี้ that is the next part I would like to comment. You talk about retention, but your retention, loyalty, I agree นะ loyalty, I agree. You have reward and retention.
Yes.
Reward เนี่ย if they are happy with the reward, they will be satisfied, and therefore they will be loyal. เห็นปะ I don't think คือ reward เนี่ย is the factor towards retention. It doesn't mean retention on its own. ใช่ปะ to retain employees, what do you need to do? You have to give them rewards. You need to communicate with them so that they are satisfied, and then they will stay. Now, intention to stay is similar to loyalty. So I think satisfaction, you can have 3 layers, 3 roles of the analysis. break satisfaction. Measure satisfaction is very easily measured. There is a scale developed for you. And if you want to measure leadership, you just be clear. Do you want to measure the relationship that they have, or do you want to measure the type of leadership that they have? แล้วก็ measure leadership type on satisfaction,แล้วก็ their perception towards teamwork ค่ะก็ find the teamwork measurement scale นะ and then ask about teamwork and run it against satisfaction เนี่ยก็เป็น multiple regression ละ teamwork work environment leadership on satisfaction แล้วก็ satisfaction
reward would also be on employee satisfaction, right?
Yeah. Or otherwise, if you want to, but I think reward is to, if you look at the internal marketing, because you mentioned about internal marketing as well, I did something in internal marketing and internal branding. Rewarding is the HR activity which influences. We aim to influence their satisfaction. We aim to influence their productivity, so that they would be loyal to your organization. I remember when you measure something about intention to stay, and you say like I am committed หรือว่า I like อย่างเงี้ย I like, I love, I am committed, I feel like I am the one, I am the hotel อย่างเงี้ย that is commitment. That is the meaning of organizational commitment is when you are emotionally attached to the organization, you feel like the organization and you yourself are the same ถูกปะ so you use we to replace I because you feel like you are part of the organization. So I think you can measure satisfaction towards commitment and loyalty if you want, depending หรือ only loyalty is fine จริงๆ
Okay.
But just be clear about what you measure นะคะ and the factor that you say you want to measure. So my suggestion นะคะ in terms of retention you can have only loyalty.
Okay ค่ะ
Let me have a look again นะแป๊บนึงมี productivity, loyalty, communication and reward. I bet นะ communications, if you effectively communicate with your employees, then they will be satisfied because they have a better understanding ใช่ไหม and that's why they would be able to retain the customer. That is from internal marketing literature probably. So I think but you cannot move everything to the front, otherwise it's going to be too many ค่ะก็ I believe นะ productivity could be under satisfaction อย่างนั้นก็คือ leadership teamwork work environment เนี่ย and reward would influence satisfaction, but at the same time they also influence productivity. If you can find the paper to help you develop the hypothesis for that ถูกปะก็คือ if your leadership is good, then you will also be productive and you will also be satisfied. Again, if the work environment is positive, I am satisfied with my work environment, and then I will also be productive. And now, when I am satisfied, when I feel I am productive, I would like to stay longer with this hotel. I think it's quite logical. So that you can run multiple regression, I think 3 times. Look at the scale, you have everything ready, just don't mix and match นะ เนี่ย employee retention in terms of rewards, and you say your performance evaluation style, your salary level of pay, there's no meaning about it. Okay ปะ I think you find your work would be more in management literature as well นะ เป็นพวก leadership literature or organization behavior literature อย่างเงี้ย we use keyword like leadership and satisfaction and employee satisfaction. I bet you have plenty. leadership and productivity ไง and then you start to use more keywords to find what you want to and make sure that you find the right questionnaire you don't need to mix and match นะคะ if this author that you identify they have used a good set of questions about for example teamwork อ่ะก็ use it just make sure that you define teamwork in a similar manner as the authors that you use that question. If it's about their attitudes towards teamwork, then okay. If I have positive attitude towards my teamwork, I probably feel productive because I feel good about my teamwork, so I can be productive and I can be satisfied. And then I run satisfaction and productivity against loyalty. Yeah, still answer your question, but make it more organized. And a control ไอตัว what you say like demographic variable like age gender if it's not your research question you don't need it we don't care we want to look at the overall picture we don't want to see whether age would influence honestly age difference makes a say gender yes there is a say but is it your focus is it what you want to find out if it's not what you want to find out you don't need to test it just only these factors about teamwork, work environment, I think it would be handful for you already.
Okay.
Mm.
Productivity, employee satisfaction, and the employee satisfaction will be the loyalty will be on the employee retention part, and then we will kind of correlate it to the.
Can I share the screen again?
Yes.
I probably start drawing something now. Let me find out the way. Okay. In the middle, you already have satisfaction, right?
Yes.
You see my screen, right? And then this is another one is productivity, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if you have leadership, so leadership is here, work environment is here, teamwork is here, it influences satisfaction, it also influences productivity, and then when you are happy, when you are productive, then you are loyal. See, so you would have to run multiple regression here, you then run multiple regression here, and then you would run the final regression here. Is that clear?
Yes.
If you are really want some challenges, you can run mediation with the SPSS, and that would be okay as well. But otherwise, only this is fine. Now, isn't it clearer? Huh?
Yes, it's so much more clear. I feel like mine was so much like all around the places.
I think you just cluster everything under satisfaction and hope that all those questions reflect satisfaction when it doesn't. Okay?
Yeah.
Any other questions?
I don't know. I can't think of now, but so I would say in terms of like making a questionnaire, so the statement should be very simple and just like because I know that mostly like in my questionnaires I put two kind of Likert scale, like strongly agree or very satisfied. Should I just focus on very satisfied and not try to have a statement where I like I feel productive working in this hotel? It's not satisfaction; it's mostly the agreeable. Or should I just focus mostly on the satisfaction?
Hang on. What do you mean?
Like instead of saying like I'm when I say I am committed to working in this hotel, it's like it's not satisfaction. It's like, do you agree with this statement?
Yes.
So everything should be more focused on satisfaction.
Yes. เฮ้ย ไม่ใช่ no agree อะถูกแล้ว agree is correct I'm gonna try to show you some it's agreement so I agree whether I am loyal to it or not so
Okay.
when you ask Likert scale ค่ะ Likert scale is about
Yeah.
the level of agreement ทีนี้
Yes. Oh.
so agree in everything and you let the stat run to see whether there is a relationship among those variables that you want to
Okay.
take because satisfaction scale also would have satisfaction on its own ด้วยค่ะ let me I'm running out of time but I'm going to try to show you something if I can find but otherwise I think you will be able to find the satisfaction scale very easily อะค่ะ and in let me find the so hang on a minute นะ you can talk with someone else or you can ask a question when I'm trying to search for satisfaction scale
Okay.
This one doesn't have it. Let me share the screen area so you see the process of what I'm doing. This is quite normal for trying to find the scale. See my screen, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Normally,อันเนี้ย trust in peers, influence satisfaction. Do you see that they measure them separately อ่ะเนี่ย trust in management, influence employee satisfaction อย่างเงี้ยก็คือ simple just like you ใช่ป่ะ rather than saying trust in management you ก็คือ type of leadership หรือว่า relationship with leadership เนี่ย influence employee satisfaction and then lead to employee loyalty. Do you see that?
Yes.
Similar
Yes.
thing.
Oh, sorry. Someone didn't understand.
เนี่ย but that's similarity นี่ไงquestion อันเนี้ย question when I'm talking เนี่ย employee satisfaction do you see the scale that they use ไหม
Yes.
เนี่ยก็คือ overall I am quite satisfied with my job I do not intend to work for a different company I like my job เงี้ยก็ ask for agree disagree strongly agree or strongly disagree เนี่ยแล้วก็ employee loyalty ก็เหมือนกันเนี่ยเห็นปะI speak positively about my company I speak positive blah, 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 I can recommend I would like to stay with this company อย่างเงี้ยก็คือ everything is about Likert scale you ask them whether they agree how much they agree from 1 to 5 with these statements and then you run the analysis statistic yeah you can use this one นะ you
Can
capture
I
the
have
screen
this
down
file if you have time?
I can send I don't have the file I can send the link
Okay, ha.
Yeah that is how we develop the questionnaire let me I send it on the chat box นะคะเอ้ยอุ๊ยแล้วไอแชทคือใครอ่ะ I cannot ว่ะ I will send an email
เข้ามาให้ผมก็ได้
ทำยังไงอาจารย์ทศ
อา
พ
จาร
ล
ย์ส่งลิงก์ใช่ส่งลิงก์ให้ผมทีหลังก็ได้
ได้ค่ะอาจารย์เพราะว่าโอเคประมาณนี้เนี่ยเห็นปะ this is how we develop the questionnaire and the reliability and the validity will be high because it's a tested and tried scales so you already have two scale นะ satisfaction and loyalty then you just find productivity you just find teamwork leadership what you want โอเคปะ
So I think it's better for me not to focus on the work attitude, right? Because we only going to focus leadership, work environment, teamwork, and then there's productivity that I need to find out and satisfaction and loyalty.
ใช่ you just need to find out what you mean by work environment how do you want to measure work environment ก็จะ slide what I did like management เห็นไหม you can talk about trust in management or you can talk about the types of management, or you can talk about the relationship between employees and management, depending on what you want to look at in terms of leadership นั่นแหละ same
ค่ะ
okay
ค่ะ thank you
โอ้ย okay that's itค่ะ Did I take up all the other people time ป่ะคะ
โอเคครับ
yeah I'm good thank
Okay.
you there's a lot thank you yeah thank you so much ขอบคุณค่ะ
ค่ะเดี๋ยวส่งลิงก์ให้นะคะ I will send the link to อาจารย์ทศพลนะคะบายบายนะคะ good luck นะคะ
thank you ค่ะ
I like your project นะคะ I like your project นะ
ค่ะ
บายบายจ้า
ค่ะ